He is the most decorated Indigenous pro athlete in history. He is the winner of 7 Stanley Cups, 6 of those as a player, a 9-time NHL All Star, and also counts the Calder, the Art Ross, the Hart, the Conn Smythe, and the King Clancy Memorial trophies among his accolades. Now he's committing his remarkable story to paper. Here to talk about All Roads Home, a life on and off the ice, the pride of Val Marie, Saskatchewan, number 19 in your program. It's Mr. Bryan Trottier. Welcome, sir.
Pleasure to be here, John. Thank you so much. Great intro. Thank you.
Speaking of introductions, the Métis Cree historian Jesse Thistle wrote a great one for your book. He writes about growing up, watching you play, and taking great pride in your shared Indigenous heritage. How does it feel to be an inspiration to young kids like Jesse?
I really enjoy getting into the Native communities and talking to First Nations kids and student athletes and talking about my dreams and my path to the NHL and some of the little pitfalls, some of the little things you got to avoid, and all the people that helped me. And it's wonderful to be able to share that and see the smiles and all the thank yous afterwards from the teachers and the parents. And hockey is a wonderful vehicle, I think, to be able to inspire kids to achieve. And we all have a dream, and it can be in art, it can be in music, and there's a lot of talent in these First Nations communities. But I take it with great pride, and the reaction is usually really positive. Thank you.
And was this something you were aware of at the time of being inspiring to young Indigenous kids, or was this something that you became aware of after your playing days were over?
Well, it's really kind of cool because through your NHL career, there was lots of opportunity to come and talk to schools, and some of them were inner city schools. We didn't get a chance to get to the remote areas all that much, but in your post career days, the invites kept coming, and it was just awesome to get the hospitality and the taste of the culture, and all the wonderful things that I enjoyed as a child with my grandparents and my dad all came, right back in my face. And I liked the laughter and, the drum music and everything that went along with it, the food, Bannock. And I was kind of reliving my childhood to a degree, but all of this was just a wonderful opportunity to give back and give back in a real positive way and try to influence or inspire or just give a small message to, like I say, the next generation of athlete, or inspire kids that have a dream.
And who were some of the Indigenous players who inspired you? You kind of go into some depth on that in the book.
Well, yeah, and my dad was just a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan, so George Armstrong was a big hero in our house. And obviously I knew of Jimmy Nielsen with the Rangers, and Dad talked a lot about Freddie Sakamoose and Moose Jaw, because we were working and living, we were all living in Moose Jaw at the time, and he talked about the guy he'd never seen skate so fast. And Dad had a wonderful pride about our native blood and kind of instilled it in all of us. And Mom was fantastic. She's Irish, and she'd always taught us, discrimination, and Dad did too, that it was just a form of jealousy. And so we were always proud of our roots, whether it was the Irish side or the native side. And people loved coming out to the ranch. They loved coming over to Grandma and Grandpa's house for the bouillon. Never knew what was going to be floating in Grandma's pot. Always had pig's feet or chicken head or something in there. And we giggle about it now, and we probably giggled about it then. But no, it's just wonderful to have those heroes to look up to, and the pioneers, the trailblazers, and makes you think, God, if they can do it, maybe I can too. And when you have Gordie Howe coming from Saskatchewan, like, wow, he's from my home province. You can make it to the NHL. Those kinds of people really make an impact on you when you're a kid.
Now, you've had quite the career yourself, starting with the New York Islanders, one of the NHL's great dynasties, winning 4 Stanley Cups between 1980 and 83. In the book, you talk about that first cup being the most special. Why is that?
To be able to have that dream of holding the cup like Jean Beliveau, and seeing the names of Gordie Howe and Bobby Orr and Stan Mikita, engraved on the cup, and thinking, wow, they're going to put my name on there. It's going to be on there forever. I mean, that's the dream. And to hold it and how feel the names and how cool it is to touch, how shiny it is. And I snuck it home on the first cup, and Bill Torrey was my alias and accomplice, and he said, yeah, take it home, bring it to the parade tomorrow. I put it in the back seat, put it at the end of the bed, open the drapes and the curtain, and I talk about it in the book, and have that morning sun shine on it. So when I wake up, wow, it's going to be the first thing I see in the morning, and it was magnificent. It was just gleaming, and those moments were forever, etched in my brain. I think it's adrenaline. I think it's just that moment, and your senses peak, so you kind of grasp everything. But no, that was pretty special, that first cup, because from the time I was 8 years old, I wanted to win a Stanley Cup.
Vancouver fans will remember Cup number 3 in 1982 when your Islanders swept our Canucks. What do you remember most about that series?
They were a formidable foe. They were aggressive. They were scrappy. They probably took a little too many penalties. Our power play was red hot. Mike Bossy had a series that nobody could dream of. I think he scored 7 or 8 goals in that series, and everyone was magical, big goals. And for us, it was our third Stanley Cup, the only one that we won on the road. And it's tough. It's a tough path. So to be able to have that experience of winning on the road. I didn't like playing against my buddy Tiger Williams. That was really tough. I didn't want to lose because we love that feeling of being a champion. But it was a special group of guys, and don't hate me, Vancouver, because that was a long time ago. Forgive and forget. But for all of us that recognize, you need to have that team that's going to push you to the very limit, and Vancouver did. We just it was our time. That's the only thing I could say.